Hi, good day everyone. I am Eirah Dausin and today we will be discussing electoral system tiers and hybrid system. So my topic is divided into two parts. First, the electoral system tiers and hybrid system, and followed by the case study of Namibia. Many electoral systems, both plurality majority and proportional, have a single tier of representation, meaning that there is only one set of election. In one-tier list peer systems, the list may be at national level like Namibia or regional level like Finland. In mixed systems, there are usually two tiers of representatives, those elected under plurality majority system and those elected under proportional system. For example, in the Philippines, so we elect our district representatives under first past the post system and our party list under list PR system. However, it is possible to also have three tiers like Hungary, for example, because in Hungary there are a total of 386 number of representatives. 176 of it will be elected under plurality majority system in two rounds, another 152 for the list peer and 58 for nationalists. That is why many political scientists thought that electoral system in Hungary is complex. It is also possible for an electoral system to have two tiers without being mixed in character, like for example in a two-tier plurality majority system of British Virgin Islands. So there are representatives elected from single-member district using first past the post system and representatives elected from the islands as a whole using black vote. So it is two tiers without being mixed because both systems are under plurality majority. Hybrid system. So when we talk about hybrid system, this means that you are injecting a certain consideration from a general system, like culture or political consideration, in order to accommodate the situation of the country. As an example, so in a two-run system, there are four candidates competing for the election under the method of majority plurality two-run system, meaning that candidate who received the votes of over 12.5% in the first round can stand in the second round. So how do we apply hybrid system? So we apply it by reducing the 12.5% to 8% in order to provide advantage for all, that many can join for the second round. This means that we are only trying to accommodate the situation by injecting a little changes in the system, but not totally changing the general system. So that's how hybrid system works. Okay, let's move on to the case study of Namibia. Politics of Namibia takes place in a framework of a semi-presidential representative democratic republic. Namibia's government is divided into three branches, which is executive branch, legislative branch, and judicial branch. Namibia were first occupied by the Germans in 1884, then liberated by South Africa and Allied forces in 1915, only to be effectively recognized by South Africa, who were given trusteeship of the region by the League of Nations in 1920. In 1964, Southwest Africa People's Organization or SWAPO was formed. SWAPO was mainly a black African nationalist movement led by Sam Nujoma. SWAPO's goal was to gain independence from South Africans ruling. In 1990, Namibia were given full independence after its 75 years of internal struggle and international ambivalence and years of foot-dragging by South African government. The secondary parliamentary general election held in December 1994, Namibia used the most basic form of nationalist proportional representation. The adoption of list PR came primarily at the instigation of the United Nations, who urged as early as 1982. This system ensures that political parties managing to gain substantial support in election be rewarded with fair representation. So this is the Namibia National Assembly election results of 1989. So there are a total of 701,483 registered voters, but there are only 680,688 that cast their votes. So accordingly, there are 10 parties that compete for the 72 seats in the parliament. So how do we compute this? Before we determine the number of seats in every parties will be first using drop quota and largest remainder method in order to get the quota in each seat. So this is how we compute the drop quota. Our formula will be total valid votes divided by number of seats plus 1 is equals to n votes or 1 seat. So our total valid votes is 670,830, while our number of seats is 72. Then plus 1. Okay. So this will then be the solution. 670,830 divided by 72 plus 1 is equals to 9,189. So if we will trying to compute that, then that will be the result. So this quota will then be equivalent to 1 seat. Okay, we already have our drop quota, which equals to 9,189, equivalent to 1 seat. Now we'll proceed to solving for the full seats of every parties. So this is the formula. Party votes divided by quota plus 1 is equals to 6. As our solution, like for example in SWAPO, so they gain 384,567 votes over our drop quota plus 1. So if we're going to calculate that, it will result to 41.84. Okay, so the same process are we going to follow until the last parties. Okay, let's proceed to the full code seats. So full code seats is just we're going to get the whole number that result in our drop quotas. Like for example in SWAPO, they have 41.84, so our whole number is 41. After we all get our full code seats, so we will then be adding them. So the total seats that was already allocated is 69. So there are only 3 remaining seats that is available. So here we will proceed to the remaining seats. So here we'll be giving 1 seat in every highest remainder. So as we all know, SWAPO has 0.84, but then he has already constituted or half of the seats in the parliament, so we will be giving the another seat to the next highest remainder. So DTA has the highest number, and then we also have ACN 0.58 and NNF 0.58. So we have already got our 3 seats that available. Okay, then actually there are a total of 78 seats in the parliament. 6 of them were directly appointed by the president. Okay, now let's proceed to the total seats of each party. So SWAPO got the highest seats, which is 41, DTA has 21, UDF has 4, ACN has 3, NPF has 1, FCN has 1, NF has 1, and SWAPO Democrat 0, 0, 0. So a total of 72 seats that has been allocated. So literally, we have seen that Socio-Democratic SWAPO Party, or the Southwest African People Organization, swept a landslide legislative victory. Thus, this led to some African political scientists to argue that they had dramatically failed to live up to their promise of being the sole and authentic representative of the people of Namibia. As our key takeaways, so first, number of tiers vary in various countries. Second, hybrid system used to inject certain consideration by means of changing small portion of a general system, but not totally change the system, only just to accommodate the situation of the country. And lastly, UN or the United Nations recognize SWAPO as the sole representative of the people of Namibia. SWAPO play a vital role in the independence of Namibia from South Africa, and the result of 1989 election provide a disproportionality of representation in minority parties, as the major party has gained almost seats of legislature and this led to African political scientists to argue that they had dramatically failed to live up to their promise of being the sole and authentic representative of the people of Namibia.